Today I'm working on this nice Kato C30-7, and this is another engine that it wasn't such a smart purchase because on the ad it said dummy. So I said, well, I'll buy it anyways and we'll see what happens. So I got it, and it needed well, actually it was a dummy. It had no engine and no worm gears. So I'm going to use the donor engine from the last SD45 I did, and we're going to put an engine and worm gears in it. So for the shell removal, I used my box, and it just slipped right out. So we need to split the frames. Fortunately, the pickup strips, the lights were still there, just missing the motor and the worm gears. So I didn't go anywhere with that. That was not such a smart purchase, but we'll fix that today. Like I said before, if you buy, let's say a new one's $100, you buy two $50 used engines to make one. It's not very smart. You may as well buy a new one. So this is going to be the second unit that I'm doing with my donor engine. So I'm doing 3 engines from the 2. So this one, I got a chance to clean it before. So the cleanup is going to be, I won't have to do any cleanup today. So basically, I just take my motor, stick it in there. I don't put the pins in right away. I'm giving it a little bit of clearance so I can put my worm gears in. The worm gears go in just like that. I'm going to refocus that for you. And I put the bearings back where they should be. There. Then we'll do the other side. Yeah, my trucks have already been cleaned up. So that's going to be a short video, which is okay. I like mostly running trains, so I like to fix them up, but I also like to run them. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to test run it just to make sure that everything lines up properly. So I'll just put my test leads up to it. That sounds pretty good. Boy, that looks like kind of a mess. So we're going to put everything back together. So the next thing to bring in is the frame. And that 2 has to connect with these pins. And then I'm going to put the contact strips. They have a very particular path along this engine. They have to go on top of this ridge and below this ridge. So that will maintain them where they need to be. The same with this side, it's the same thing. Make sure you have it on top of here and below here. So I'm gonna put my my 2 retainers back on. Put the 2 retainers. These, unlike the trucks or the SD45, they're not. These are available as replacement parts. If you lose one, at the end of the world, you're just going to have to wait for the part to come in the mail, which that doesn't sound like too much fun. It's more fun just to have your engine ready and get to running some trains. so don't lose them. And I'll put my screw back in. Now I'm just going to put in but not very tight, because I still have to put the trucks in. This is just to give it a chance to be ready for when I'm ready to put them back together. At least I'll have everything started. So now the next step is to put in the trucks. These have a direction. This particular engine used to have rapido couplers on the trucks, so somebody replaced that with Microtrain's coupler, and I'm okay with that. I don't have to change that or do nothing. That's going to go on like that. Same with this other truck. There's still a direction to it, even though there's no arrow. It's very similar setup to a SD9 or an SD7. I'm just going to wiggle my frame around until I get it right where I want it. Here we go. And then I'm going to tighten the two sides. So make sure your trucks are nimble. Double check the alignment of the worm gear, the contact strips. Double check your contact strips, they're at the right spot. And if you're happy with that, then you can bring in the gas tank. That's a pretty big gas tank. And it's got a direction of where it goes. That I think I got it right. And then the two lights. And the light shield. And we're almost ready to go. I'm going to test it again with my test leads. And before I put my shell back on, I'm going to test it on the track. But that sounds pretty good to me. So let's take a look. Sounds pretty good to me. And then reverse. Yeah, that's going to make the grade. The handrails appear to be in really good shape. It even came with its own horn. I'm going to put it on off camera to save you from all the swearing, because it's really small. It's a small detail, but you really notice it when it's not there. So all that's left to do is put the shell back on, and that should go nice and easy. And now it's time to run some trains. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was certainly short and sweet. Life is like that. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it goes bad. Today it went well. See you soon.